All right, thanks for staying with us. Now, the Christmas season is here again. And usually during the holidays, family and friends come together to celebrate. There are lots of Christmas parties, social events, end of year, get-togethers at work. People tend to overeat and overindulge. Indeed, it is a time to be merry. However, for some people, the Christmas period can bring on unwanted stress, excessive spending, anxiety, and even depression, not forgetting heightened states of robberies and theft. So how should we approach the festive season? Yeah, it's all about finding a balance if you ask me, during the holiday season. So let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. All right, so first of all, I don't know if anyone noticed. So if I go on Instagram, I see a lot of videos showing people walking into the store, because I run a retail store and skincare store, so I know it has happened to me several times until the person probably stopped. So where you see people go into retail stores and they distract the sales rep that is there, and they pick things, pick phones, pick cash, pick different things. I mean, some have gone as far as saying that they were probably hypnotized, so this is a season that a lot of those things are happening. I mean, just yesterday, Norma had mentioned how she was at the fuel station getting fuel in her car, and a bus just came and rammed into something. Apparently, that bus was filled with a lot of one-chance people that the police were on their trail. So they were able to apprehend one person, and they found a lot of big phones with the person, and the others escaped. And just today, I got a call from our intern. Our intern, what's her name, Tamara, called me and said, she's so sorry. What happened? She was stabbed. Her phones were collected from her, money and everything, just by Eco Hotel. So this is a trend when it comes to the security part of, the festive season. It comes with the territory. So how are we even going to be prepping for it? Not forgetting the burden of wanting to buy things. I mean, we're talking behind the scene. You said people were trying to get tickets to fly to their states, and they don't have tickets anymore because there's that burden of, I have saved so much, and December is the time to get dirty and just spend everything and all of that. So there is so much happening, So how should people approach it? Because November is almost over, right? And we're here. December is here. Christmas is here already. So how should we be prepping for the season? Should we just tell ourselves it's COVID? I'm not going to put myself under pressure.
That was last year. That was so last year. You started off the conversation. You have packed so many things.
I'm telling you.
You have packed so many things in just one question. So I think maybe we should just unpack them and maybe first of all talk about, before spending, the security issues. And it's not just today. It's been there for... That's why people are always weary of Umbermonts. It's been there for as far back as I can remember. Mm-hmm. And it's a tricky question answering, what you can do to prevent it, because you can't even say come back early. Don't stay out late at night, because the most careful people have been attacked. Just as you said, would you stop opening your store? And you can't afford the kind of security that will protect you 24/7. You get so. That's why I say it's very tricky, but even at that, there's some precautions that we can take. For example, if you're going anywhere, you make sure that the people know where you're going to. People that care about you should know where you're going to. If you're in an Uber, use the safety feature, share your trip with someone. You get, while we know that we cannot be 100% careful or prevent it 100%, there are things that we can still do. Some measures that we can still take. You have to be extra careful. Do not be in a hurry to go anywhere such that you ignore your means of transportation if you're not driving yourself. Even when you are driving yourself, you have to be cautious of the road. You have to be cautious of your environment. Unfortunately, you just can't help everybody. You can't. Please don't give lift to strangers during this. I'm not saying don't be a nice person, but if you don't know people,
please, if you call me that I'm not nice. I do not lift anybody that I do not know.
So
I'm sorry, I don't do that.
And even for people,
I've had too many scary cases.
Yes. So I think that just be cautious. When it gets to this season, you have to be extra cautious. If you are in a departmental store or in the open market trying to get things, please don't carry too many bags. Carry things. I'm not joking. You have to, especially if you're going to Lagos Island, for example. You cannot be loose. You cannot be carrying something that is far away from your body. If you're carrying your bag, please let the bag.
My sister,
Let the bag literally be in front of you.
I was at
it's not funny.
I was at the supermarket. Which day was it? Some days ago, somewhere out of town, and I picked my tiny purse. So, like, it's just a bag. I will show you the purse when we get to the maybe downstairs when we're leaving. Just okay, maybe two of this. It's just a flat purse, like normal purse. The girl said, "Madam, please, you have to drop it inside." They put one locker there. I said, I don't understand. This is my purse. She said, no, because my money was inside my ATM card. She said, no, please, you can't take it. They don't even want to hear that you want to carry anything into it, because I think those people, they've gotten there. So because I run a retail store, I understand. These ones, they've gotten their fingers burned several times. People coming to steal things and put it in the store. But let me hear Uti's thoughts on this. Prepping. How should we be prepping for the festive season? See the video I saw of Lagos, Abuja, Kaduna.
The end of month is one that I think came from this kind of topic. The concept that come the end of the year, security issues are heightened. Even in a season where there was a time in our history when security wasn't at the forefront, or insecurity wasn't at the forefront of our history. So you can imagine that that exponential increase that we see at this time of the year, add that to the issues that we already have, the economic issues, the insecurity issues, it's just a whole melting pot of wahala. I remember this t-shirt that I saw that had a phrase on it, and it said, stay out to debit alerts there outside. There's all sorts of debit alerts outside.
Yeah, right.
Whether it's from being robbed, whether it's from spending, the idea is you have to be extra cautious at this time of the year. I mean, the dirty December is about to go into full swing. There's going to be lots of things happening. People are going to be out late. So everyone just has to take extra precautions, take extra care, be extremely aware of the surroundings. Situations can change pretty quickly. So you need to be aware of what's happening all around you. But the thing for me is the festive season is such a beautiful time of the year, such a magical time of the year. So I try to find balance with not allowing myself to be completely bogged down by the negative, and trying to still be able to enjoy the festive season as sensibly as possible. But it hard because, you want to give gifts, you want to go out, you want to order plenty food, eat plenty food. All those things come with quite a hefty bill at this time of the year. So we just need to find balance. I know every January I say, I'm going to start saving for this December now. And then come January, December, we still have the same conversation again. So I think I'll just leave it there and say we all just need to be extra safe, extra cautious.
There's something she said about reasonably. That is the problem. That's the problem there. The definition of reasonably.
What is reasonable to you?
Exactly, which is very relative because, and maybe we would come, also you brought it up, is you slave from January. I don't mean the money you set aside, because Uti was talking about setting aside a particular amount. I think I used to do that every month to prep for December because I know it's heavy. Set out a particular amount to prep for that. But I'm talking about the people that your entire savings, you throw all your personal finance advice out of the window. Like your entire savings from January to November, you finish it in December. And then, January has its own bills waiting for you, especially for people that are salary earners. Even for the traders, January is a slow month. Even for business people, January is a slow month. So that's why you see people, when they come back, they say that January has 60 days. Because you're just waiting for them, and you're not ready. And for me, I think this is something we should really talk about. Do you really need to exhaust yourself in December? Do you need to do it with the clothes? Do you need to do it with the places that you go to? And I won't lie, I know that Uche is keeping it positive. There's some of those places you won't even enjoy it because of the crowd. Like, I seriously do not do the beaches in December. I don't. Because you with my money, that is even now more expensive, you'll be looking for where to sit. You'll be looking for, how to get the best view, get the best service.
Okay, but what happened now? Last year, you were somewhere.
I was somewhere. That was not.
Is it that you have not recovered?
No, I recovered from that one. I have. But I'm just saying that, plan for these things. Just some people that, I'm telling you, January they go are begging. Do you have to? There's some things that you could do within your limits, I know, yes, we want the December to be dirty. I want mine to be clean. I'm a clean girl. Hello. But the thing is, do you really have to go to the extent where you exhaust yourself? Some people even tap into important things like children's school fees, house rent. Do we really need to do that for December?
It makes no sense. I mean, and I think it's the same fever that comes with the summer period, where everybody just feel like. But you see, again, if for anything, COVID had actually taught us that you could survive without,
we have forgotten all the COVID lessons. I'm sorry. Uti, am I wrong? Like, I don't know. Uti,
you're not wrong at all.
We have forgotten all the COVID. So even at the office, everywhere, we have forgotten all the COVID. I did not think that we would forget. But why people have forgotten everything that they learned, COVID has
no, we can actually survive without some of these things. But see, okay. So how do we even handle, because let's even bring it back again to, how do we handle the pressure that comes personally? Because again, it is a season where everywhere you go to, everybody's hailing you. You have to constantly have cash to dole out because that's just, there's a spirit that comes with Christmas.
Yeah, giving.
I don't think any holiday season has that spirit. It is highly infused with a lot of giving. You always want to give. You feel the need to want to shop. You want to go out, buy so many things and all of that. So how do you take yourself out of that pressure? Because you can't just look away from everything. Should you be selective with your choices? Yes, my love.
Let me go first.
Let me tell you the one first things first. That thing you said about needing to have cash on you is very real. But here's the little trick that I do. Go and get mint. Mint 100 naira or mint 200 naira.
There's no mint 100 naira.
And just keep it with you. Pardon?
I said there's no 100 naira mint too.
Uti, if you give
beggar,
there's 100 naira mint.
It's very scarce.
100 naira mint or 200 naira mint. And just keep it with you. See, the value of mint is higher than...
Uti, you're right. You're right.
Uti.
Just give people mint.
Hold on.
What is 100 naira, 200 naira, they'll be happy.
Uti, even beggars on the road now, you give them 100 naira, they'll be looking at you. Like, really, is that the best? Is that the best you can do?
Well, Uti has a point. Mint has a higher value than old notes.
It's the same amount of 100 naira.
It has a higher value, and the spender will not spend it so quickly. So if you really like, what you would have done, like maybe giving somebody just one flat 1,000, you could give 10 new notes of 100 naira, and it's a lot.
But you know what? We have to take this thing to another level because
Yes,
I was reading somewhere where the world, I think it was World Bank that brought out that report to say that we are going to have more people, in the poverty line.
Yes.
Right? By I think 2022. So for me, that report was quite alarming. So it means that, right, crime would increase, it will go on the rise. Because, I was watching a video of a 60-something-year-old man that said he went into kidnapping, and all of that. A lot of people are going into those kind of crimes because it seems like it is paying off, While we cannot stop people from going into crime, we can protect ourselves, because it's going to get worse. It's not something that we should even laugh about, because even now, prepping for festive season, I would say limit your showing off. Yesterday we talked about showing off, online and all of that. You will limit it because you do not even know, even your conversations on phone, you don't know who is listening. You're with the driver and you're talking, you're calling figures. Those are very, very big security risk that a lot of people take for granted. You know what? But let's take a break. Hopefully we'll be able to open our phone line today. Let us also hear how you are prepping for the festive season. I like my people from Benin to call me because this season, the rate of robbery Jesus. I remember all the periods I would go to Benin during festive season. Either they would steal my phone or steal something. But you know what? Take a break. We'll be right back. All right, thanks for staying with us. Now, in Nigeria, families will gather together on Christmas Eve to throw a party that lasts all night. Those who live in big cities often travel back to small country villages to attend such parties because many of their relatives still live in rural regions that they left years back to find work in the city. So older relatives, parents, grandparents especially, tend to reside in the villages. And so tonight we're talking, how do you prep for the festive season, putting in consideration everything that is happening right now? High rate of poverty, high rate of insecurity, high rate of whatever it is, you know, inflation costs, so many things. The prices of things are going off the roof. So those are the conversations we're asking, how you're prepping for the festive season. Now, please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. Okay, we'll open our phone line today just for you. In case you want to call in to tell us how you're prepping, is 070250077749. Please turn off the volume of your television set when you call us. That's the number to call, 070250077749. All right, so I'd mentioned earlier about poverty, right? We can't ignore what is going on, especially in Nigeria. More people, they say about 40-something%, and let me try to pull out that figure, will join the poverty markup, right, that we have already in Nigeria. So these things will not go any less. So if we say we want to prep, how can we also bring people out of that? I don't know. What can we do? Because it's not just festive. I mean, for the season that we're going into, it's a season of giving, a season of love, a season of sharing and caring. So how can we show that we care, you know, and let it not just be all about us as a people?
Well, what the people that are doing things, especially religious bodies, that for the festive season, it's not just about the Christmas carols or the events that happen. They actually reach out to these people. But answering that question of actually bringing now people from that, you know, above the poverty line is beyond beyond even this show, because it's going to take a lot to fix that. We're talking about fixing infrastructure. We're talking about fixing our naira. You get, that's what we're talking about, because that's really the lasting solution. The best that you can do at Christmas, and then, you know, anyone can disagree, is to just, in the spirit of giving, share with what, you know, the people that don't have. And that's the best you could do. So you could go out today and decide that you want to donate to existing people, because I know a couple of friends that every Christmas what they do is to ensure that around them everybody has a meal. I know a couple of friends, every Christmas day, they just go out to junctions, the people that beg, just everybody just have a meal for that day.
Okay, you know what, let's take our first caller for the day. Okay. Hi, the youngest old man. Is a regular caller, I think. Hi, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
Hi, thank you for calling.
Yes, I really appreciate you guys bringing up the topic of the day. Man, it's very hard for everybody this time. Most of us are surviving by grace, but we thank God, sha.
Thank you.
But for me, the security situation is alarming, and I think I will just give that to selfishness of individuals, not necessarily poverty. People have been poor before now, things have been happening before now, but people are just so selfish. A lot of us put a lot of a lot of challenges. We bring in a lot of things that we don't really need to bring in. Some want to own the best iPhone Max or whatever you call it these days. You know, as an old man, I don't remember all those phones, but a lot of things are happening these days. People are not really poor to that extent, but people want to, you know, upgrade to some levels that they don't even need to. People bring in unnecessary things, luxuries that are not necessities to life, and it all makes you put unnecessary pressure into your life, and some will go into the wrong lane. So for me, I advise people to, you know, reduce traveling. There's a lot of security challenges. I speak with my friends in the north. Man, things are happening. Even the big roads that have a lot of security apparatus are still having challenges. So this is not the best time to travel. A lot of things are happening. Anytime it's in click. So if you have your way, you transfer whatever you want to. So unless for important issues like some we have like maybe 1 or 2 celebrations to do, or you have traditional whatever, maybe a marriage or family meeting. But if not for that, I don't think people should travel for fun these days. The road is very, very tough. So
We just have to be
careful
vigilant.
and just stay put until this whole thing calm down. The
Thank
dust
you.
is high. In fact, the morale is not sweet these days. So people should just be careful for me. And we look before we leave these days. That's what I have to contribute to. Thank you.
Thank you, and that is a fantastic contribution, because if it is not necessary, if it is not, in fact, there are some weddings that they will invite you to. You tell them that when they invite you to that wedding, say, please let me just send something to you. You don't have, it's not every invitation that you must you honor. Yes, especially when it's taking you to certain places that you are not very certain of the security, there. So, I mean, there are some things you can just avoid, honestly, because you see, you don't understand the gravity of what we're going through until you go out in the street. I mean, I watched just my intern here, stabbed just on what's it called? By Eco Hotel there. Like, does it make any sense? So these things are all around us, The fact that it's not coming close to you does not mean that it does not exist, So we just have to be careful. So the percentage I was saying about poverty is about 45.2%. Right, of our entire population in Nigeria would be within that poverty line.
That's scary.
So that is really scary.
That's scary.
Almost 50% of your population. So that's over 100 million people, right, in poverty. So tell me, so it's a deep issue, and again, because people are that pressure. You remember you mentioned it at the beginning. That pressure of wanting to impress during the festive season and all of that, it will get more people desperate. You hear cases of kidnapping, you're hearing cases of people trying to sell babies, to go and make money. Why are all of these things on the rise? It's because people are trying to,
And you finish it in less than 2 weeks.
You get, in December, everybody wants to show that I'm a big person. I have arrived. And you don't have to put yourself under undue pressure. And I like what he said about the greed, because it's actually coming from, because if I don't need it, I don't need it, right? So the thing is tiring.
No, I get it, and it's overwhelming sometimes when you see these things. It's overwhelming when you see to what extent people will go just to prove things for a couple of weeks. And in some parts of the country, you see all these things that we're saying, don't travel until it's necessary. We're just talking. It is just all talk. They finish planning the travel. Whether they are kidnapping 20 people on the road,
they'll say it will not be my portion.
It will not be my portion. So I guess it's about, again, it's tradition for them. Their mothers will be crying. Other people's children are coming back. You have not come back. Are these not other people? So I think it's beyond just seeing people want to travel. Some people is inculcated into their culture that at this time of the year, you must come back home.
Uti. Oh, wow.
Yes, ma'am.
Help me out, baby.
Well, you've all said too much. I think for me, before you even talk about we've talked about all the insecurity issues, I think when we talk about greed and we focus on the financial part of it, there can be a lot of pressure, right? What Ike just said now is real, where, there's pressure on you to come home. And when you come home, it's not like you're just going to come home and sit in your
Obviously, no. Your mates are coming.
People will come and visit. You will go visit. What's that popular Yoruba saying? Eniwa kimi, owolo nomi, something like that, right? So you come and greet me and I spend money. So the fact is, December is a period where I feel that whether I like it or not, whether I leave my house or not, right, you're spending. Because let's talk about the people who, if you think back to your experiences, the amount of sub stories that you hear in December, people that can't eat, people that in the midst of all this excitement, it's Christmas, it's all of this, some people can't even have one meal a day. And other people are in the midst of excess, trying to, have parties, have events. There is a lot of pressure out there. And sometimes even the little that you have, you can get overwhelmed very quickly by the expectations of family, the expectations of friends. I mean, even at work, the expectation. If you've had this experience, I'm sure AK has had this experience, where there's time to contribute money. And it's just assumed that because you're at a certain grade or certain level, your money should be higher. Nobody knows what your expenses are, nobody knows what your bills are, but you have to drop that money. Because guess what? You are senior, so you have to drop the money. So there is a lot of pressure at this time. But for me, the goal is always to try and find some sort of balance. Like you said, it's not every invitation that you honor. At some point, you have to say, you know what, this one I can't do, or that one I can't do. Because if you let yourself get overrun by it, January will be a very, very tough time. It already is quite tough because everybody's coming down from the high of Christmas. And then you add in the financial woes to that. There's just nothing else to say for it, but it's not the nicest way to go into a new year. So I think for me, that's where the greater focus is that pressure that comes from everybody who's needing something from you and how you balance that with what you have. And try not to, I mean, no matter how much you try, somebody's going to be offended, right? Try not to offend as many, or try not to offend as many people as possible, but really not pushing yourself or going beyond your boundaries. So you have to set clear financial goals. If you say this is the amount of money I have to give away this month, as soon as it's done, you need to change your tune because you have a plan. And no matter what, it's the festive season, but life continues after December 31st.
Exactly.
Or rather, should I say after January 1st, life continues. We just have to remember that.
I think, can we talk about, helping people prepare for this season? For example, I mentioned it. If you know, you have a budget for every year, okay? Some people set that budget and say, okay, in December, I want to spend 500,000, I want to spend 1 million. How about you start from January to save this money? Such that you come to December, there is no pressure to look for extra money because you already have the money. So this might be like a personal finance advice, is that it's not too late. So you didn't do it this December, be ready for next December, because I find that that's very useful. You do not have to go into an extra purse to really carve out that money. Okay, so you've already planned for it. And as Uti has said, just set a budget, because seriously, if you think of the people you need to buy gifts for, okay, you want to think of your workplace. She has mentioned it, your workplace. If your children go to school, if your children are under the care of someone, you have neighbors, you have friends, you have families. And sometimes really, I don't get upset if people don't buy me Christmas gifts. Like, I'm serious, I don't. Because for my list already, I know how cumbersome it is, to make sure that you even get everybody the kind of gift that they would appreciate and they would like. So it's really a lot of pressure. And you can really lay off some of those pressure if you are prepared for it. So if you want to set out 20,000, if you want to set out 5,000, if you want to, my nanny sets out money, and I think, she just followed my advice. She sets out money every month from her salary. She keeps it with me, and then she takes it in December. So she doesn't have that pressure of saying, I have to go look for extra money, or I need you to lend me some money for Christmas. From January, she set out some money that she would spend, during the Christmas period and travel and all that.
Will she spend it? That's the question.
No, just as I've said, there are expectations. Like, for me, I feel sometimes obligated for the people that have rendered some sort of service, especially to my children. Just as you said, Christmas period.
So I always do that for my staff.
Exactly. So
in fact, I went to an old estate of mine. The man said, Madam, I miss your chicken, because what I do for, especially all the security guards, I suppose giving them money, right? Where I used to work, and I mean my estate where I lived, I just counted the number of security guards. I had the guy that owns a poultry, so he just brings 50 birds, live chicken. So that would make sense to them.
Exactly. So the same thing.
I normally used to plan for that.
So for her too, she might have family, especially she's the breadwinner of our extended family. People will look up to her when she goes home for the holidays, because she goes every Christmas. So she has to go home for the holidays. And it takes a lot of pressure, because it's a season of giving. You can't help it. But the thing is, you now need to be truthful to yourself and to your wallet.
If you really can afford it at this time.
Yeah, and what I was saying is that if you plan for it, it makes it easy for you. So even if it's at the end of the day, it's 20K you want to spend, let that 20K not put you under pressure, because from January, you have been planning for your 20K. So in December, you just have your 20K at hand and be satisfied with yourself that if you spend your 20K, somebody said this thing has a spirit. That, you just go somewhere and somebody says Christmas has a spirit and spraying at weddings have a spirit. That you will go for a wedding and you pay, okay, I'm going to pay 5K. But the euphoria of just dancing and spraying people, before you know, your wallet is empty. Okay. You have gone beyond your 5K into 20K. When you now get home, I don't know if you've seen that meme where you sit down, do your calculation, but you know that it's you that spends.
Oh my God.
It's that way.
I get you. Yes. I get you. Uti. Oh wow. As we wrap up, is Uti there? Did we lose Uti? Okay, you have a comment.
Okay. So 1 second, let me pull it out.
Is Uti there or did we lose her?
So we have...
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
yes.
I can hear you now. Go ahead.
So we have this from our usual Bobby Kennedy from Jalingo. Says, wow, you have started this festive period already. Ladies in black outfits. Purely coincidence. This is a season of sober reflection, season of sharing love to those in need. The season is for everyone to be happy. We are in trying times in Nigeria. May God bless us all.
I think so. Uti, let's wrap up with you.
Yeah, so I think I like Bobby Kennedy's comment. It is indeed, like I said, it's a wonderful time of year. It's a magical time of the year. And it's a time for us to all be thankful, because given the last couple of years, making it to the Ember month is actually in itself an accomplishment. So it is indeed a time for us to be thankful. I think that in the midst of, no matter what, I know we've also talked about the pressure, we talked about the financial, but one thing I would like to state at this point is that we all need to think about our fellow human beings. You can do something for everyone, or you can do something for someone rather. No matter whether you think that you don't have money, you can't afford it, kindness can be free. So not everything in this season has to be about giving money. So we all can come up with creative ways in which we can help others, where people have the need. Some people are just lonely, some people don't have anyone to talk to, some people don't have anywhere to go on Christmas Day. You can invite them to share a meal. There's so many ways in which we can look after each other that will not necessarily involve, lots of money. So let's try to think of, our fellow humans around us and just try to spread that love in any way that we can.
Absolutely. I think that's a fantastic.
That's a fantastic.
But again, this is the season where you begin to receive hampers and all of that. Look through those hampers. If there are things that will be helpful to other people that you can really do without, just share. As opposed to just keeping it, not using it at the end of the day. And again, because we are also battling inflation, if you can start to shop early now, so if you have,
it's late.
It's already late, right? Shopping now is already too late, right?
It's late. I assure you.
Yeah,
that
it's late, right? Wow.
It's late.
On that note, thank you, Uti. Thank you, Eke. I think we had a fantastic conversation. Before we go, do ensure you follow us on Instagram at PlusTvAfrica. We are giving away. People have not done video. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and more importantly, we have started our giveaway to say thank you to you for believing in the Ways brand and for following the conversation. So do well to follow us now. It's at PlusTvAfrica. Like, share, invite your families and friends to watch and follow the conversation. So if you missed today's quote, here it is again. For many people, Christmas is indeed the most wonderful time of the year, but the festive period can also bring its own unique stresses and strains. But don't despair. This is from L.A. Taylor. We'll see you guys Monday at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy.